we need to talk about it. The fire situation. And the fire situation is very serious. It's now newsworthy all over the news. It's even on Yahoo News. Look, live coverage of the East Coast smokeout. And we're not talking about smoking out. We're talking about forest fire smoke. And this is during the day in New York. I'm not going to step on any copyrights, just to let you know. It's made the news, the mainstream media. Now, I've been talking about the fires for about 2 weeks, and about a month and a half ago, we started proposing the possibility of plate-wide fires as the plate started to shift. And that gets into something that, again, if you don't know about the plate shifting and what results fire-wise along the edge of the North American craton, it would take a whole hour-long dissertation, discussion, or whatever you want to, a lecture from me to even talk about that. I'll just tell you that the edge of the plates going up in the northwest, down through Texas, and down through Arizona, down through Mexico, back up the East Coast, is the edge of the craton. Now, you'll see the smoke here over the Midwest. That's all smoke coming down in this somewhat open area. We have clouds and a rotating low-pressure system now over Quebec, hopefully going to put out some of the fires up in Quebec. But right now, we have new fires across Ontario, across Saskatchewan, also over to the west in Alberta and BC. Let's go up and take a quick look and just show you the amount of smoke and fire that's going now. This is all smoke up here. And before we even look at the smoke, we'll turn on the shortwave infrared, which will show us the fires throughout the day today as they blew up again in multiple locations. The black dots here and here and here. Okay, now I'm going to turn on true color and we'll see the smoke associated with these. We'll go back to yesterday, actually, and just make sure we've got it. Here's last night. Watch this. Down here at the U.S. border, we have Vancouver Island, we have Washington State down here, and South BC. Look at that. Big blow up of fire right next to Mount Garibaldi Volcano. That's there at South BC. Over here to the west, there's no volcano there. It's just straight up a fire out there on Vancouver Island. That's last night, as well as you can see the fires here from yesterday. Huge up to the north. And I'm going to show you what's at the spots up in Canada. Here's sunrise this morning. Here's throughout the day today. And look at all the new fires that popped off on a clear day. New fires. Upwind from where fire locations are. So you can't say it's blowing embers. Again, it's getting weird. Okay, we've been talking about this now for like 2.5, 3 weeks. When you see what's at this location, these locations, down here in Alberta, up here in Alberta, over here in BC, at least all of these locations are either directly next to oil wells or within a mile or two of them. And I'm talking tens of thousands of wells. These are not forestry clear-cut sites. These are for oil and gas. You see the pipelines and the retention pond to collect water. They'll take that water, mix it with chemicals, put it down into the ground. There's pipeline. Oil and gas is what we're talking here. And all these little pads that are out here in the back country are different oil and gas wells. And there's tens of thousands of them, so that I'm just showing you these right here. You start to get down into hundreds. We're at hundreds already by the time we're looking through here. And then we go into, again, kind of what I would call an overdrive type situation, where there's just thousands and thousands of wells. This is here in BC. Let me go ahead and show you the borders. Again, our fires are up here, going over to the east, over into Alberta this way. And over in Alberta, you kind of have the same thing going on. It's a little bit more widespread, but you can zoom in and find them. They're pretty easy to identify from high above. Now, the imagery on some of these might be a little low resolution, but you should still be able to make out the pipelines, the tank. Here, you can even see the shadow of the jack of the bump there. Okay, anyway, we're talking Alberta, we're talking BC. Here. Again, it's just massive. They just go on. The oil pumping goes on and on and on. These are all oil wells. This is South BC, or Central BC. And then as we go down to the south, we get into the mountains. I don't know what the oil well situation's like up in the mountains. Haven't taken the time to look, but I wouldn't rule out that there's maybe a few. Well, hold on. What do we got going on right there? Yeah, literally, there is. There's one right there in the middle of the mountains right there. Just to give you an example, like, it's not just in the low-lying foothills. We're going up into the mountains themselves. Here, look at this. We got snow-capped peaks covered. And look at that. You got the shadow of the jack of the pump of the pipeline up there at the peak. Okay. I just had to make sure, because when we start matching up with fires up in there, and we've got the plate shifting, and then this takes place today, again, these are all fires here, going down into the mountains and down to the border. That's BC. Over to the east, Alberta, same thing, and Saskatchewan, same thing. Now we're going to go over to the east and look over into Quebec and Ontario. I know I have to take a lot of time to look at all these. So actually, let's get a regional view in here in Quebec. The big low pressure system over the area, dropping a lot of rain on the area, but you'll still see the black dots of the fires that are currently detected in Quebec. Here we are last night. You see that? That's what's in New York today. So this smoke from right there reached New York by today, and that's what's causing the apocalyptic views in the East Coast. See it? There it goes. There's this morning, and it's going real fast, being pulled counterclockwise down and over to the East Coast. But new fires are going on up here where my mouse is. You see them putting new smoke in there right at sunset, right there. New huge plumes of smoke being put in on top of the already smoke that's out there, that milky, hazy color. Now we've got this down in St. Louis. I posted a video on my YouTube channel. It's a YouTube short right here. Here's my backyard of about 30 minutes ago. And across the lake even, just looking even across the lake, it's hazy. And when we look out to the end of the lake, down to where the dam is, look at that. That's from the haze and smog coming down here to St. Louis. So getting back to it, that's going down to the west-southwest, and we look at a continental view of the United States. Let me take it back throughout the day-to-day. Boom, there we go. This is the smoke. We have multiple waves of it. So Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, the South has the first wave. Second wave is over me now. That's the one I just showed you in the video. Third and fourth waves are across Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. And new push of smoke is coming in, and we don't see it yet, up to the north. That's coming from the northeast. Up in the northwest, to even see where it's going, you have to see that it's actually being taken up to the North Pole, and then being brought back down to the south. So watch this. It's taking the smoke from BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, pulling it up to the north, but then it comes back around. And that's what we got going on right now across, all blowing over to the east across. Now, Manitoba is the only spot that we don't have any fires going on, which is just wild. Let's go over and take one last look here. We're going to look at a regional view across South Ontario. And South Ontario has fires, which are blowing across the Great Lakes right now. See those right last night, and here's last night, by the way, and this morning. So the smoke coming over Michigan, Illinois, and that's all coming from a separate series of fires that's coming in now, and this is sunset, and it's just reached over into Michigan. So tomorrow morning, Chicago should have a new blast of haze and smoke as it comes rolling in. Now, what's causing it all? Enough talk on the oh, wait, no, we're not done yet. Let's go look in the southwest United States, because we have huge fires down here now broke out in New Mexico and Arizona. See that? Arizona, New Mexico. Multiple fires there as well have broken out, and that's just now becoming a pretty serious issue, I think. It's been over the past several days. We've seen it develop. The West Coast is going to be a little bit harder to see, but you can even see out in the valley. All of this is smoke in between the clouds. So that sheen, that whitish color sheen, has spread across the whole country. I mean, it's no doubt about it, but there's new fires that are, again, mixing in with it, coming from Arizona and New Mexico at least. But we're not done yet. We have to go down to Mexico itself. Going into Mexico, we're going to look throughout the day today and watch what happens down in Mexico. Watch this. Look down here. This is the Yucatan Peninsula. Here's Mexico, Mexico City somewhere right near. And then going up along the mountains of Mexico up to the north towards California. But what I'm interested in is all the smoke. Look at that. So literally it's coming out everywhere. Coming out down from Mexico. Let's go look at the Yucatan. It's no exaggeration. You can see the black dots. They're even out in the ocean. The black dots are the hotspot areas, the heated areas. I'll zoom in on a close view on this on the Yucatan so you can see it out there in the ocean. And these black spots are all fires along through here. And here we are throughout the day today. And watch here. Look. This is all of Mexico. Where's the smoke even coming from? Do you see any particular source of fire to generate that amount of smoke? I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm just showing it to you. You have to just take it for what it is. That's all smoke. You can see it. It starts rising from the mountains like this whole area right here. Do you see that? I don't know what the mileage is on that, but that's going to be like 100 miles, let's say. I'm just guessing. But we could try to go measure it. Let's just say that's 50 miles or 100 miles. An entire area 100 miles across, putting off just a burst of smoke with no actual fire there when looking at the shortwave infrared. But it's not coming from somewhere else. It's coming from there. And it goes all the way up along the coast. I don't know what to make of it all. It's like the whole plate is smoking. This is down in Mexico now. So down in Mexico, we got the whole plate smoking. Then it goes in a line of fires that goes up along the mountains, which you can kind of see in this shot, I think. You should be able to see the difference between the white clouds and the grayish-looking smoke here, right? It's a real sheeny type sheen on that, though. And then we go up to the north, where we get into New Mexico and Arizona, where there are the fires. And then I can't really see right now because of the amount of cloud coverage across these states here. Of course, that's Nevada, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, Yellowstone. Going up over Wyoming, over Yellowstone. Let's take it back throughout the day. This is how we started out the day. And then you get this. So the deformed edge of the craton keeps having this happen every single day. And when I say the deformed edge of the craton, I am not exaggerating. Look at the purple part on here and compare it to the spots where we're getting these. A giant flare-off of steam and precipitation. So what's going on? Well, let's go look at the earthquakes. Finally,